and welcome back. It's still Wake Up Nigeria, and it's about time for us to begin our relationship segment. Now, this is a segment many people actually wait for because we have really interesting individuals come talk to us about different topics. And today we have the one and only Olabisi Folarin. Today's topic is a really spicy one, if you ask me. She's going to be giving us some insight into the differences between relationships and, or rather, dating and courtship. The difference between dating and courtship. Now, Olabisi Folarin is someone with decades of experience in this particular area. The three-chord marriage and so many other things she's been able to do online have really given a lot of people insight. Thank you so much for joining us, Olabisi.
Thank you, Titi, for having me.
All right, so let's jump straight into it.
Okay.
The basic differences between dating and courtships and why it's important for us to know the difference.
Okay, so dating is basically two people who are attracted to each other, just spending time to, get to know themselves and see how it goes. So with dating, there's no serious attachment. You're just testing the waters. It's more or less recreational in nature. Yeah, I said recreational. There's really nothing serious about it. Just getting to know, let me see, can I really stick with this person for so long? While with courtship, at this point, it is more intentional and serious. You are not testing the water. It's a period where, you're getting to know each other because you have marriage and engagement at the back of your mind. But with dating, there's no such thing. You're just testing the waters. So that's one difference.
All right, so why is it important for us to note those differences?
It's important that you note the differences because you can't be dating and expecting marriage. I mean, nobody has committed to the other party. There is nothing definite about your going out. You're just seeing, you're just having drinks, chilling out, movies. There's no commitment. Okay, so you need to know if you're on just a roll with that person or the person is committed to you, and you can only be sure of that in a courtship, not dating. Dating, you guys, it's recreational. You're just testing the waters to see how it goes. It's important you know your stand with each person. That's why we need to differentiate. What are we doing? Are we dating or we're courting?
Okay, so I don't know whether it's just me. I've heard many people describe the difference between dating and courtship with a physical aspect or attribute to it. What about those physical connections and intimacy with regards to dating and courtship? Are there differences there as well?
Well, that will be determined by each individual. But for those that are usually of the faith base, they stick with courtship, and there it's not really allowed. But with dating, it's open-ended. You get so each individual decides what they are doing based on their value system. So for dating, a lot of that is really much involved. But for those who are faith-based, will tell you it's not allowed because that's why they do courtship and not dating. Yeah, so there's a lot of definition that has to go into it.
Okay, so I have a feeling some people might, be contrary to what you just said, that, some people are probably expecting that when they take it to the next level from dating to courtship, that the physical aspects should then begin. Am I wrong?
That's why I'm saying those of us that are faith-based, there is no physical whatever until you get married, all right? But those who are not faith-based do all those things. So each individual, based on their value system, practice what they deem fit. But for those of the faith-based, there's nothing physical. You just get to know yourselves, and you can know yourselves without getting physical. But for those on the other divide, that's why they like to stick with dating, where all those things is permissible.
Okay, I have to ask this. Have you ever worked with, a couple that had no idea about the differences and probably had different expectations of the differences between dating and courtship? And how were you able to get them both on the same page?
Okay, I would say yes, but that's mostly with singles, all right? So there's usually this thing about, clarity, because for dating, the guy might tell you, I've not made up my mind. That's where the don't pressure me comes into it. And then so when I explain the difference between dating and courtship to you, if you're saying I want to get married, there is marriage in view. When it comes to courtship, there is no definite goal in view with dating, but in courtship, there is marriage in view. So if you're telling a lady, and the girl is complaining, I can't sense any commitment, and the guy is like, I'm feeling pressured, then we need to make the guy understand, if you are calling this a courtship, it means you're telling this lady, I have marriage at the back of my mind. I want to get married to you. And so if she's not seeing a commitment, she has a right to be disturbed and ask some questions. I think that was where we started from in July. We're talking about salient questions to ask before you say I do. It is at the point of courtship you have a right to ask those kind of questions because there is a commitment involved there, not at the dating stage. You guys have not yet, how do I say, defined what you're doing at that stage.
Okay. So now I have to ask, with regards to age groups, do you advise, so if you meet a very young couple, do you advise them to date or to court, depending on the age group?
Well, depending on the age group, I'm wondering how to answer that. Okay. Age group, but for me, it's not really an issue. I talk about marriage from a faith-based angle, so I usually advise courtship, not dating. Instead of dating, I'll say get to know yourselves. Like, just be friends. If you feel like this is somebody I can really chill out with, we have the same value system, then, you can take it to the courtship stage. Do you understand? Like I said, I approach marriage from a faith-based angle, but others might not. So I can't use that as a yardstick for everybody. Do you understand?
Okay. So I'm just, I'm just very concerned about the younger couples. I'm talking about those that just turned 18, those who are, 21, 22, who are actually
at that point, they're most likely just dating.
But what if there are courtship intentions at that stage? Have you been able to?
They're not too young, really. I mean, the age of consent at 18, they are within the age of consent. In more developed countries, people get married that early.
Okay, all right. Fantastic. So there are just so many different variables that can go into this topic, and I know that it's something we cannot address fully on air. But of course, once we take it to social media, you can ask all the questions you would like. Just make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Tag us, and when BC sees the questions, maybe she can actually ask and rather answer them as well. Thank you so much for joining us once again, Olabisi Folarin.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. So have you been dating or are you in a courtship? You need to ask yourself those salient questions and figure out the answer soon enough.